The Australian Catholic University have found that progressive resistance training has the ability to improve insulin resistance in type 2 diabetes sufferers. In the last 12 months, there have been over 70,000 newly registered cases of type 2 diabetes in Australia. Dr. Michael Baker, an exercise physiologist from the Australian Catholic University, believes the study had positive results.
And what we found is that through resistance training we're able to increase muscle mass, and muscle is a really important place for glucose to go. So we increased their muscle mass, they got stronger, and their glucose control improved.
47-year-old Irene Danaskis suffered from type 2 diabetes and obesity 3 years ago. At 87 kilograms, Irene had reached her lowest point, both mentally and physically, and knew something had to be done.
I had depression, and that was how I ended up getting the diabetes, because I put on a lot of weight, and with my weight came a problem with my insulin. I had insulin resistance, and the doctor put me onto Diabex and an exercise program, so I had to combat the diabetes and the depression.
Since engaging in resistance and aerobic training, Irene has shown significant improvement, not only in her weight, but also in overcoming diabetes entirely.
I ended up getting my diabetes under control. It took a few months to work, but we ended up getting it under control. I ended up losing 30 kilos, and my sugar's now all back to where it should be, which is good. I'm not on any medication, and yeah, so that sort of worked really well for me.
Get him up, Change.
Irene has had a wealth of family support during her training. Her husband, Tony, and daughter, Liana, both have found motivation to keep fit so that diabetes and depression won't be an option for them.
Now we're more active in the family, everyone's more active, like we go to boot camp all together, we come here and train all together. It's just a totally different feel in the house. So yeah, it definitely changed her having diabetes, and then losing all that weight and fixing her diabetes problem has changed all our lives pretty much.
Ease out, butt out, open them up. Okay, you're going to do 10 of those.
Max Semrani has been a personal trainer for 25 years. He has watched Irene's transformation in close proximity, being impressed by both her commitment and her strength.
Although being a large woman, I knew inside her was a big heart. She was definitely motivated for being so demotivated in lots of other things.
Joel Tuccia from the Australian Diabetes Council is also a firm believer of resistance training and the positive impact it can have on insulin resistance.
Resistance training, we know, and we have known for a long time, has a huge effect on people's insulin resistance. It brings it right down. Our muscles are the biggest storage tank for glucose in the body. And if we can exercise them and make them bigger, now we not have to make them, Mr. Olympia size bigger, but just a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, we can really influence the way that people will actually metabolize sugar, bringing down their blood glucose levels and improving their diabetes management.
Since relinquishing the hold diabetes had over her life, Irene has had a change in career, becoming a trainer with Max. She wants to inspire others with what she's achieved while raising awareness of diabetes prevention.
It made me want to change my career because I felt like I could help other people that are in a similar situation. Because people often think that the whole situation's hopeless and that they can't get back on track, and I'm living proof that you can. I love seeing people get results, like here at boot camp. Max and I love what we do because we love seeing people get fitter and getting stronger, and people that have certain illnesses that we're trying to help them get back on track with their injuries, we find that they have a positive result. So that's the reason why I have my career change.
While it's clear that resistance training can enhance the well-being of those with type 2 diabetes, the growth of this chronic disease is still a major concern for health professionals.
There's about 1 million Australians affected by type 2 diabetes at the moment, but for every one person who is diagnosed with diabetes, there's another who has diabetes but doesn't know about it. In the next 20 years, it's expected that diabetes rates will rise to about 3 million people in Australia.
If everyone did this sort of training, we would not have the problems we have with diabetes in Australia today.